In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, again, great thanks to Roberto for very organized and systematic presentation. There are different ways to talk about our experience of unity with our Focolare brothers and sisters, and in particular, wings of unity. So, briefly, I can say that it is more than 25 years of search for finding ways of mutual understanding, mutual love, and then unity. So, in addition to the work that I have been doing for my own family and community in Manchester when I was there from end of 96 to 2000, we tried to know more about Christianity. And my request is that every one of us, wherever we are, we try to know people of other faith and traditions. I did and I don't regret. So I hope everyone will do that. So we try to know more about Christianity, but not as it is written in the books. You can read everywhere. Even you can close the door to yourself and read about others. But to have personal relation is very important. And to let people speak for themselves. We cannot understand another tradition by reading what others have written about them. We need to let them speak for themselves, and we need to see them in life, in action. So, when we try to explore Christianity about 97, then we were not that successful unless we tried first with Focolare, because before that we didn't know into contact and how to start, how to find people who are serious in their faith but also open. So our first serious encounter, serious and meaningful, because I have met Christians in the university, etc. But the first serious and meaningful encounter with Christians was with the Focolare movement. And then through Focolare movement also we developed relation with the Benedictine monks. And later also we developed some relation with the Anglicans. Later, after a few years, when I went back to Iran with the Mennonites, because our institute had started relation with Mennonites in US and Canada. But the very first contacts were with the Focolare. And thanks to God, I didn't make an excuse and say, I am busy with my study because I was on a scholarship, I had to finish my PhD in a certain time and go back. Otherwise, I was living in UK without support. So, I didn't say, let me finish my PhD and go, or let me focus on our community, because our community, when I went to Manchester, was not that small. We had about 200 PhD students from Iran. And we had money already, etc. So I could be busy with the community, with my study, with my family, in a place which is not my home. But thanks to God, I was feeling I should, go more and more to understand Christianity. So we took part in day meetings of Focolare in Mariopolis. The first Mariopolis we took part in, my family, was in Lake District. There were hundreds of Catholics, especially in Focolare, and friends of Focolare. We visited Focolare in different cities in the UK. A turning point was our visit of the center of the movement in '99. We were invited to go to Rome and be part of the meeting with Muslims. There were more than 300 Muslim friends of the movement, and we also took part in some of the meetings organized by Vatican for New Millennium. And for the first time we met Chiara in '99. First we just saw her by accident. We were visiting St. Peter's Square, and she came out of Vatican with her driver in the car, and our Focolare friend Marite realized, so she said, let's go and greet her. And then we met her in Castel Gandolfo. She came and gave a speech to us as Muslims. Also, our group visited Piero for a day visit. This more than 300 people with buses. We went there. But from before, I said, my family, we want to visit Piero with more time. So we arranged that we stayed 2-3 nights in Piero. So I was in love with Lo Piano even before seeing Lo Piano. And imagine after that, the love increased. So we very much loved Lo Piano. Because when people who work for unity live together, that makes the place very sacred. And then 2000, I went myself back to Rome with Dimitri. I said, I want to know more. Yes. And so we visited different places. We visited the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue, Pisa, etc. I went also for the first time to Assisi, and very much enjoyed Assisi. And I can only thank God, because as a Muslim or as a person of another faith who is seminarian, who is a preacher, who is imam, you can go to, for example, Assisi and feel bad because you think these are all, people of another faith, they have been here, hundreds of years, and you can feel good. Thanks to God, I felt very good. Because unfortunately, sometimes people, when we meet people of other faith or religious of the other faith, some people who are close-minded, they think these are confused people, misguided people, and are misguiding other people. But my understanding was, no, thanks to God, these are the people who have devoted themselves to God. They didn't follow my tradition, but I know they devoted themselves to God. So every corner we were passing, and Dimitri was saying, this is a convent, this is a monastery, I was just feeling happy and trying to imagine all the prayers that these women and men in their days, in their nights, over centuries were offering to God. So I was very happy to be in Assisi. And then we kept our relation with Focolare in different countries. So whenever I was traveling, I used to ask if there are some Focolare in that place, I want to meet them. As I want also to meet the Shia Muslims, so I wanted also to see the Focolare. Another turning point was 2004. In 2001, I went back Iran. Our relation with Benedictine had grown. In 2002, I had invited some Benedictines to come to Iran. We had started Catholic Shia in 2003. So there are many other meetings which were very important, but I'm just focusing on Focolare. 2004, Chiara was visiting UK for the last time. And at that time, I was in Iran. I was invited by the Focolare to go to London and to be one of the two guests, non-Christian guests. One was a lady from India and I was a Muslim. So I went from Iran to London to show my unity, and I had 7 minutes to talk. And thanks to God that is available, the talk I gave that day. And in my talk, I talk about the way I understand the relation, the harmony among religions, especially Abrahamic religions, from a Quranic perspective. And then I thank Chiara for what she has been able to do under support of God in making unity. And I said, I have seen Focolare in many places in the world and I have found the same spirit. And then I ended with this prayer. Let us hope and pray that soon all the wounds of hostility and injustice will be healed with the return of humanity to God. And that unity of God will be reflected in unity of mankind. This was my last words, which remained to my mind because I had to make my speech, short, so that it becomes 7 minutes. Then at the end, I remember what I want to say, because so many times I repeat it. So, what I had written at the end, return of humanity to God, and unity of God being reflected in unity of human beings. Now, after 19 years, that was 2004, I understand that sentence better. Because the whole idea of unity of God and unity of God is this idea of unity of God being reflected in unity of mankind. So, in a sense, we were just digging deeper and deeper to the same idea of the unity of God and unity in God. Okay? We never said, okay, we came up to here, but we need to redo it. We need to, erase it and do something else. No, we just went deeper and deeper. And God knows how deep we can go. Maybe still we are on the surface. Looking back, we feel we have gone very much deep. But I think looking at future, we realize that we were still at the beginning of the process. So Roberto explained very well many experiences we had. So I just focus on Wings of Unity, which, as he mentioned, started in 2016. What is special in Wings of Unity? In Wings of Unity, we are not just having dialogue, we are not just sharing our commonalities, we are not just praying together, which are all great, but in Wings of Unity, we are inviting God to talk to us. In a sense, after having dialogue for many years and knowing what we have to say and offer, now we want to silence ourselves and listen together to God. And ask God, please speak to us because we want your will to be implemented. We want unity that you want for mankind to be implemented, but we don't know. I humbly say I don't know what should be the next step. Whatever we knew, we did it. Traveling, talking, conferences, books, etc. We did it. But we need more. I said to Piero that I believe if I can show to God, I am desperate for guidance, He will guide me. If I am struggling for understanding, He will guide me. But maybe this was new. I said, I cannot honestly say to God that I did everything for understanding His plan if I only read books by Muslims, discuss only with Muslims. Because God would say, why you didn't ask your Christian brothers and sisters what they have to offer? Maybe they have some inspirations from God. Christians also cannot say to God, we did everything to understand your plan, if they just only Christian text and discuss with Christians. We need to use any source, any resource available. I am sure, I have no doubt, that there have been many Christian holy people who were inspired by God. I have no doubt about it. And I am sure there are Muslims who were pious and God inspired them. Can I say, I only want inspirations from God for Muslims or for Christians? No. Any inspiration that has come in the course of history from God, we want it, we need it. So in Wings of Unity, we say, let us sit together as brothers and sisters, talk to each other, discuss, but this is only an opportunity to invite God to talk to us. You know, when there is dialogue, normally interreligious dialogue, if it is genuine, because sometimes it is superficial, sometimes it's formality, but if it is genuine dialogue, okay, they sit on two sides of the table. Each side tries to present themselves in a very nice way. And they say to God, please help us to show that we are greater in our tradition, we understand better. Please help us. We don't want to convert them, but at least to show them that we are richer than you. Yeah? Normally it's like this. They respect each other, but they want to show that they are better. But in our Wings of Unity, it's not like this. When a Shia is presenting or a Catholic is presenting, we both for both of them. We say, God, please help this presenter to do his or her best. Help them. Why? Because through their presentation, we want to see if there is any message from you for us. Your message may come from a Christian mouth or from a Muslim mouth. Doesn't matter. I am thirsty for whatever comes from God. Yeah? If you are thirsty, you take any rain. You don't say, is this rain coming to my land or to my, neighbor's land? If rain is coming and someone offers you rain, accept it. It comes from heaven. So, we try to listen to God with two ears. With Muslim ear, with Christian ear. Sometimes God has spoken to both ears. And this is when we have common teaching. Sometimes God has spoken to a Christian ear. Maybe a Christian saint has received some inspiration. Maybe Pope has received some inspiration. I as a Muslim should appreciate. One of the people that I follow seriously is the Pope. Because I know that he is a man of God with great responsibility and he is humble and he is the one that is very likely to understand the world better than many others. I as a Muslim follow what he says. I follow also what Grand Ayatollah say. Because inspirations of God can come this way or that way, both ways. I don't want to miss anything. So we listen with two ears, Muslim ear and Christian ear. If you are not prepared, when you hear something from Muslim ear and Christian ear, you will get confused. There is conflict. You say, please stop one of them. I cannot understand both. But when you are tuned well, you are trained, you are prepared, you see God is speaking very clearly despite differences. Language can be different, culture can be different, but if you are used to listening to God, it doesn't disturb you where His message, His signal comes. It can come from a person of your language or ethnicity or denomination or someone else, but you can understand that this is from God without any disturbance. So thanks to God, since July 2016 till December 22, we had 11 rounds of Wings of Unity. During COVID, we did almost everything, but we didn't do Wings of Unity because we thought this is impossible on Zoom. We should meet each other. So if COVID was not there, maybe by now we had 15, 16 rounds, but we have 11 rounds within 7 years. And I personally benefited a lot from these rounds of dialogue, even for understanding Muslim faith. And my Christian friends, they say the same. It's amazing. You meet someone from another tradition and you understand your tradition better. If I was only meeting with Muslims or Christians were only meeting with Christians, they were not able to understand this much. Because when we meet and we are humble and we try to empty ourselves from our ego, the presence of other believers in God make us very rich. It was very interesting what Roberto quoted from Pope John Paul II at the end. When we are united, we can have better chance of presence of God. And one of the things that we decided to do was to share this with others, because Wings of Unity is very small group, 5, 6 people from each side, sometimes 4, 5. Sometimes some students of Sophia take place, but the core group is small. But what we achieve throughout the year, we share. I personally have shared many of these things throughout the year with my community. And I'm sure our Focolare friends do the same. We had also opportunities to have platforms on this. For example, with Roberto and Rita and my wife, we had a panel involved Parliament of Religions in Toronto on unity of God and unity in God. We had together at this panel. Or with Paolo Firisi, we had a seminar in University of Glasgow, unity of God and unity in God. In Tangaza, now it's since 2017 that every year we have something on unity of God and unity in God, apart from COVID. So this unity of God and unity in God is something that throughout the year we emphasize in every place possible. Plus we said, let us invite youths and clerics and seminarians. So in 2017 we had Tonadico. You saw what Roberto said, and also you watched the clip. It was amazing. Then we had Week of Unity, December 2018. We had Week of Unity recently in May 2020. And last year, with our Focolare brothers in Mariopolis Piero, we decided that this year, instead of just having our AAA's brothers visiting, let us have a Week of Unity, which, thanks to God and efforts of our Focolare brothers and sisters, and efforts of all who came from different parts of the world. Now we are having this week of unity in Kenya, and I hope this can grow. So all this is based on our relation, and then a fruit of that which was wings of unity, and then working together with unity. In less than 2 weeks, we will go to Brazil, to Mariopolis Piero, and then we go to Buenos Aires, to Mariopolis Piero. Roberto also will be with us. So we are going to take the good news of unity to Latin America. So we go everywhere possible to share this news of unity, and then it's up to God to, whether He wants to grow it, He wants to keep it, I don't know. We do our best. We do our best, and we hopefully don't miss any opportunity to work for unity. So, we don't know. Maybe, as we see, so far it has been a great journey. Maybe God helps us so that after some years we see these little humble things that we did. Maybe they are parts of plan of God. Maybe these humble efforts will gradually lead to many people be inspired for unity. Because I think if you show them the right sample, the right model of unity, many people will want to subscribe. Because now many people don't know how much you can be united, and they are worried, whether we are going to lose our faith, we are not going to lose our faith, we are being confused or not. But if they see we are more strong when we are united, we are not compromising about our faith, and we are not compromising about anything, we are just understanding how much commonalities we have and build everything around our common Lord. So I am very hopeful that not because of our work, but because of God's blessing, maybe what we can do would be useful for a large scale. It's all up to Him. We do our part, and I always say to my students, I say, do your best, leave to God the rest. Do your best, leave to God the rest. But you cannot, don't work and say, I leave to God everything. Just do your best, leave to God the rest. So I stop here. With Roberto, we can receive some questions, comments, ideas, reflections from you. And Roberto, if you want to add anything, also please feel free. I hope you were able to. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Roberto, there is a question. You can go away just like that. Somebody wants to ask a question.